So this video I'm going to show you how to configure data filtering rules on an output connector. So every input connector allows you to specify input data filter rules. Then on some of the output connectors, which will be all of the database connectors, MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, and also then on the Salesforce connector, output connector, you can specify what we call output data filter rules. And they're basically the other end of the pipeline controlling how we output to a target service. Okay, so if you click on the actual configuration for the output connector, so in this case it's a MySQL. On this integration itself, what we're doing is synchronizing customer records from an Oracle database to a MySQL database, and what we want to do is control how we add or when we add data to that customer database. So by default the always add option is checked. Okay, so that basically means that the output connector will never check the target service to see does the data exist there, the data that's being synced on the pipeline. Okay, so the other options then, if you don't want to do that, if you want to control how you output data, so if you want to, you can only add if the record is new, or you can perform an update. So you can basically perform an upsert type operation. If you just check the add if new checkbox, what will happen is it'll look at the data in your that's coming through from Oracle in this case, and we'll check the target database, the target MySQL database, to see if that data is there, and if it is, it does not add it. If it doesn't exist, it will add it, but it doesn't perform an update if the record already exists there. If you check this, you can also check the update button, so that'll allow you basically then to do an upsert. If the data is not in the target service, it'll add it. If it is in the target service, it'll update it. And then likewise you can turn off the add if new, that if you just want to perform updates for whatever reason, you can do that as well. Okay, so as you can see here, when we check and uncheck these two checkboxes here, the text at the bottom here changes, and this is basically trying to explain to you what the effect of turning on and off these different options are. Okay, so one of the other things you'll also notice is at the bottom here we've got this message basically telling us to be no rules specified. So what are these rules? Basically what these rules are for is to help Weave decide if the data exists in the target service or not. So if it's syncing across when it's syncing across a record from Oracle, how does it check the MySQL database? What are the queries it needs to perform, for example, under the hood, to actually check the target table to see does that data already exist there. Okay, so adding these rules is really very simple. So what you can do is basically, it's quite similar to adding the filtering rules on the input. You just specify the actual column name. So you could have if customer number is the same. So what this is here basically is equals pipeline value. You can have a not, so is or is not. And then these options here is equal to the pipeline value. So is the data is there a record in the MySQL database that has a customer number the same as the record coming through from the Oracle database? So the data in the pipeline. Okay, if you want to check for a literal value, then also you can check this, and you can actually put in a specific number if you want. Okay, so that's how you basically specify. You can specify more rules, but that's the basic gist. You just specify rules, and Weave uses those rules then to interrogate the target service, whether it's a database or Salesforce or any other services in future. The format for performing or adding these output filters is exactly the same in each case.